excited about the word of the Lord this morning, the word that God has given me to give you guys. I pray that it will be empowering and that it will be a word that you can take with you, not just today, but for the rest of your lives. And so we're going to go and we're going to move quickly. We're going to jump right into Psalm 61, 1 through 3. Now, I told the last group, if you roll with me, we'll get out of here early. If not, you just don't teach and you'll be in for a while. So every now and then, throw amen or hallelujah or whatever it is that you want at me to make sure, to let me know that I'm doing okay. Psalm 61, 1 through 3. I haven't had you turn to your neighbor yet. Turn to your neighbor and just say, I love you. Yeah, I like chat. Psalm 61, 1 through 3. It says, hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. From the ends of the earth, I call to you. I call as my heart grows faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the foe. Verse 3, for you have been my refuge. We're talking about this rock, a strong tower against the foe. If I had to tag a title to this text, to this message, to this pericope, look at the person beside you and say, keep pushing. That was the wrong name. Turn to somebody behind you and say, keep pushing. One more time. Elbow the person beside you and say, keep pushing. I want to make sure that you stay woke today. Amen. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Let's pray. God, we thank you for this time that we can gather in this sacred place we call sanctuary. We thank you for what you're about to do in this edifice, in this ecclesia, in this space right now. Not just in this physical space, but even inside the space of their heads and inside the space of their hearts. I thank you even now that they're being transformed, that their mind is being renewed. I thank you that you're removing the hearts of stone and you're giving them the hearts of flesh to be able to receive in a time such as this. Now God, I ask that you move Pastor Josh Childs out the way and bring in Pastor Jesus Christ. We call on the real pastor to be able to deliver a word. Now, Father, I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight. Lord, you're my rock. You're my everything. You're my redeemer. In precious name, amen. Each and every person under the sound of my voice, or it could be you, have went through a season of hurt, went through a season of valleys, going through pain and trials and tribulations. This song was written by David. David wrote this song at a time where it seems that he was at his worst. Now, we don't know the specific time in which David wrote this, but Bible scholars tells us that it was in between the time of the exile from Jerusalem and the time of the rebellion of his son Absalom. And so David writes this song unto God because he's in depression because of death. Some of you under the sound of my voice may be under depression because of death, but I really believe that I'm talking to about 10 or 12 of you guys, that you're struggling through some things because you're trying to find out what's the next step to your destiny. And so it's a story that I want to release to you this morning that's pulled out of this text to help you reach your destiny. Do me a favor, you got a temporary prophetic license. Look at the person beside you and say, you're going to keep on pushing. So the story that's pulled out of this text is about a young man. And this young man was in his cabin one night. And he began to pray. He said, God, I know you got to have more in life for me than this. I wake up every morning, got a 9-to-5 job. Teach and I work with kids every day. I'm a parent, I'm a grandparent, whatever it is. But it has to be more to life than just this. I believe that there's some people in here today that you've been praying and telling God, God, it got to be more to me than this. Because Because at the beginning of the year, some of you prayed that 2018 will be better than 17. But it hasn't got any better. It's been worse than 17. It's been worse than 16. It's been worse than 15. God sent me on assignment to tell you this morning that things have to get better. That they can't get any worse than they already are. They've got to get better. I hope that I'm speaking into your spirit, that you hear me this morning, and I'm telling you before the year is out, you're going to see a sign of things going in the right direction. And so this young man prayed the same prayer that David prayed. He says, hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. Because you have to understand, whenever you're in a state of sorrow like David was, whenever you're in a state of sorrow like this young man was, you have to lift up our first point, and that's your request. He says, God, show me a sign. God, let me know my destiny. Let me know that my existence on this earth is greater than what I see right now. And what does God do in godly fashion? He shows up on the scene. Shows up in his cabin at night. Pastor Josh. And the Lord tells him, I got work for you to do. Look at somebody and say, I got work for you to do. He says, I got work for you to do, because we understand that God is no respecter of man or person. And we understand because of Jeremiah 29:11 that it says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. Understand that his plans are not always our plans. And our plans are not always his plans. And his plans are not just for you. Can I tell you that? When we read this text, sometimes we misconstrue this text, Pastor Josh. We take it as God is talking personally to us, and it is. But when this text was written, the word you in this scripture is plural when you read it in the Hebrew. That means that God says that he has plans for you, and he's talking about all of you. He's talking about this entire church. He has a plan to prosper and to bring hope and to be able to push you to another level. Listen, I know your pastor, and your pastor is talking about doing big things, major things. He's talking about bringing churches together. He's talking about bringing families together. He's talking about bringing regions together. That's the plan that God wants for all of you. Because he knows you. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Before all of this, I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Listen, it's so much in that right there. I could preach that all by itself. But let's look at these 4 pieces. He says, I formed you. Look at somebody and say, there's nobody else that's like me. I think you need to know that. Nobody has the same DNA as you. Nobody has the same fingerprint as you. Nobody can walk like you. Nobody can talk like you. Nobody has the swagger that you have. Here it is. It was David that had to say that I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made. I'm talking to somebody that may not like themselves this morning. God made you the way that you are because he wanted you to be like that. Red, yellow, black, or white. Doesn't matter if you're skinny. Doesn't matter if you're big. God wants to use the way you look to save your life. He wants to use who you are to be able to bless somebody, to be able to push somebody into their destiny. Doesn't matter how you think you look, because God loves you. A quick story about a young lady in New York. Her name was Miss Eustace Grant. A couple of years ago, this actually happened. She was really big her whole life. She actually had some type of chemical imbalance where it was tough for her to lose weight. She got picked at as a child. She got bullied on in middle school. They talked about her bad in high school. And one day she was on her way to her job, and she was walking, and she fell through a floor that was taking her to the subway. She fell through it, Pastor. She fell through. And everybody knew she was dead because she had fell like 1 or 2 floors down. When the paramedics arrived on the scene, you know what they said to her, Lady J? They said, the reason that you're still living is because you were so big. So the very thing that people talk about, God used to save her life. The very thing that people don't like about you, you is what God will use inside of you. Not just to save you, but to save somebody else. In this text it says, I formed you, I knew you. That's an intimate term. There has to be a level of intimacy when you're understanding the destiny that God has for your life. In Genesis 4, it says that Adam knew Eve, and then they had Cain and Abel. In 4:25, it says that Adam knew Eve, and then they birthed Seth. You want to birth something great in life, you got to get to know God. Your destiny is predicated on how well you know our Lord, our Father, our Savior. Listen, it's more than just waking up in the morning and saying a prayer. I always tell my college students, it's more to God than just asking God for help whenever you got a test. God really wants to get to know you. He really wants to have a part and a piece inside of your life. Not only did he know you, does he know you? He sanctified you, which means that he separated you and he set you apart from everybody else. These are words that we don't like in the church anymore. We don't like to talk about sanctification. We don't like to talk about holiness. But watch this, understand, it's a reason why you don't fit in. Because he set you apart. It's a reason you don't feel comfortable with the crowd. Because he set you apart. It's a reason why every morning you wake up and you say, it has to be more than life than this. I don't like the way I'm going. I don't like these things that I'm doing. Because he set you apart from everybody else. Because he ordained you. That means that he's giving you license. He's giving you authority. He's deputized you to do what it is that you do. And so understand this, when we lift up a request, because of who God called us to be, God gives us a response. Understand this, your request will always lead you to something or someone. Here it is. My mom been knowing God since she came out the womb, a prayer warrior. She used to always tell me, be careful what you pray about, because God might just give it to you. He prayed and said, God, I want something greater. I want something better. Lead me to it. The same prayer that David prayed. He said, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. God took this young man outside and he showed him this big boulder. He showed him this big rock. It's massive. It's heavy. It's weighty. God told me to tell somebody that I have something for you. And you know it's from God because it's bigger than you. God has something for you that don't match your bank account. God has something for you that doesn't match the friends and the circle that you're in. God has something for you that doesn't match what you're looking at when you look in the mirror. That's how big our God is. And oftentimes I tell people, you know it's God because you know in your own strength and in your own power, you could not accomplish it by yourself. If you can do it, it may not be God in it. And so God has this large rock in front of him. Here's the instructions. This is what God tells him. He says, I want you to push the rock. Look at somebody and say, push the rock. That was the wrong person. Turn to somebody else and say, push the rock. The Lord explained to him that you're supposed to push this rock with all of your might. Push the rock with everything that's in you. Push the rock with your entire soul, with your entire being, everything that's in you. You got to push this rock. But understand this, when God gives us an assignment, faith and work flow together. James 2:17 says this, in the same way, faith by itself, if it's not accompanied by action, is dead. I'm talking to a couple of people in here this morning that you got all the faith in the world. You got faith to believe for everything. Faith to believe that God is going to work it out. Faith to believe that God is going to do the impossible. Faith to believe that God is going to prepare you to the next level. Faith to know that you're going to another dimension. Faith to know that you're not going to stay where you are. But here it is, God understands that you got faith. But your faith has to be coupled with action. Your faith, can I say this, has to be coupled with work. We have all the faith in the word that we're going to build a mega church with Welcome Wesleyan. But watch this. Do we have the action, the fortitude, the mindset, and the work ethic to make that mega church happen? Because we as a people, we just want things to pop up out of thin air. We just want to have faith. Here it is. The example that I use. I got faith that this is going to move. I'm believing God. God, you said in your word, if I ask, it shall be done. I believe, so I receive that this is going to move. I'm praying. I'm believing God that that's going to move. I got faith. I got faith. Watch this. Can you come in? Can you come in? Can you come in? Watch this. This is what we do. I'm even touching an agreement. Can you believe God with me that that will move? Can you pray with me that that will move? God, we're believing you right now. We got the faith that that stand is going to move. Please don't miss it. Can you come in? Now we got 3 people. We just in heavy intercession. You just going in. You sweating. You going crazy. Laying out before God. You laying out prosperity. God, move it. It ain't went nowhere. Give God a hand clap of praise for them. You know our problem sometimes, Pastor Jason, and I hope y'all invite me back. I'm not trying to beat y'all up. I'm just trying to be real. All I know is to keep it 100. A lot of times we pray for things that humans can do. A lot of times we pray for things that we can accomplish ourselves. Bishop T.D. Jakes put it like this. It's no reason for me to pray for a wooden table. God already supplied the trees, and it's my job to make the wooden table. Sometimes we're praying for things that we can get done ourselves. God just simply wants us to work. So watch this. I'm doing all this praying for this right here to move. But faith without works is dead. So when I put my work into moving it, it will move. Look at somebody say, you gotta have faith. Come on, look at somebody say, faith with works. God will put you to work because He don't want you to get arrogant. He don't want you to get bougie. He don't want you to be stuck up. So He makes you work for it. I often apologize for my generation because understand this statistics show that we have the most millionaires under the age of 20 than in history. We're the most blessed generation of all times. But you know the problem, Pastor Josh? We have the most blessed generation of all time, but we give less. Yeah, we don't tithe. We don't go out into the community like that. But we've been blessed. And so God will show you, watch this, that in order to get stuff from me, you got to have a work ethic. And you're going to have to learn how to appreciate what it is that I give you. I often tell the story of how my parents, I asked them for allowance one time. And my mom and my dad told me, after I picked my teeth up for my old school saints. After I picked my teeth up, my dad said, allowance, I've already given you that. I allow you to live in my house, man. Somebody better say amen. A parent better say amen to that. Get one parent look at their child. She said, I allow you to live in my house. I allow you to drive my car. I allow you to eat from my table. You already got your allowance. Our generation, we have a spirit of entitlement. So we feel like a lot of things that we're entitled to, but I'm here to tell you, whatever it is that God has for you, you're going to have to work to get it. Because through this work, you're going to be able to put your name on it. Whenever in the Bible, in the Old Testament, whenever they were going to conquer a land, they would have to fight for what it is that they wanted. And then after they got what it is that they had to fight for, they would be able to put their name on it. What does God want from you? He wants you to be able to put your name on some stuff. And so God says you have to work for this. And so the man goes out the first day and he's excited because God is giving him what it is, his purpose, and what he feels like he's called to do. So he goes out and he pushes on this rock. Pushes on this rock. Pushes on this rock. He pushes. Sun up, sundown. Pushes. Nighttime. Pushes. On break time. Pushes. You gotta keep doing it. You got to keep doing what you know to do. God has called you to pray. Keep praying. God has called you to serve. Keep serving. Each and every day he will go home tired. Keep pushing. Because God wants to know, do you really trust me? How do you know if you really trust God? You know you trust God. Here it is. When you can't trace him. When you can't see him. Talk to some people in here. There's some time when you couldn't see God, when you couldn't feel God. Have you ever woke up in the morning and just felt like you wasn't saved? I guess I'm the only person that feels like that. Like, my God, I'm so far from you right now. Maybe that's just me. But it still has to be some faith and some belief inside of you to know that God still has what he called for you, and what he has for you, he still has it at hand. Trust God in the hard places. This rock was hard. He was pushing up against it. It reminds me of Job when he was going through his situation. He says, though he slay me, yet I'll trust him. I know some of you guys are in some hard places. You're in some hard places at school. You're in some hard places in relationships. You're in some hard places in your marriage. But you got to trust God inside of those places, because that's when he works the best. Inside your hard places, God wants to deliver you. Daniel 3. Yeah, right. There was 3 Hebrew boys. You know, you went to Vacation Bible School, you remember the story. They threw them into a furnace. And what did they say? They say, even if God doesn't deliver me, he's still able. Understand that God is still able to get you out of whatever it seems that you're in this morning. And he's ready to pull you out of it. So every day, he's pushing this rock. He's pushing this rock. And now he's upset, and now he's unnerved. Because years has went by, and he feels like he's at the same place. And people down the street is talking about it. His neighbors are talking about it. His family is talking about it. And now he's stressed out because he told all these people that God was going to take him to another level with what it is that he was doing. And they don't see anything. And they picking at him and laughing at him. Can I tell you, stop worrying about everybody else's opinions. The opinion that you need to worry about is God's opinion. People don't have a hell to put you in. Oftentimes we try to impress people that don't care about being impressed anyway. We do so much for Instagram. Here it is. We'll post a picture of the sunset, just living the blessed life. I got favor. But you're crying yourself to sleep every night. See, we know church vernacular and we know the right things to say. But will you really be honest with yourself and be honest with God and tell God, like this young man is about to do, God, I'm hurting. Because there's one thing that you can't skip, Pastor Jay, and that's the process. Everybody has a process of pushing that they have to go through. I know you have potential, and this is what I tell Mary, this is what I tell my seniors. This is relationship 101. I'm going to give you this one for free, Pastor. Never marry potential. Married folk, can I get an amen? Marry a pattern. Because that pattern tells you who they really are. They really are lazy. They really are ratchet. They really are savage. They really are liars. They really are cantankerous. Any married person will tell you, when you get married to that person that has a bad pattern, that pattern is going to increase by 1,000,000, and you're going to hate it. And you're going to hate yourself for getting into it. And so God takes you through a process to turn your pattern into his pattern. All right. God takes you out of your pattern and puts you in his pattern to develop your potential, to take you, to help you fulfill the next level of your life, to help you fulfill purpose. All of your potential is wrapped up in the process. How much work will you do? How long does it take to make a cake? You got to go through the process to get that cake to where you want it to be. Too many times we want to skip the process, and you cannot skip the process. This young man is embarrassed because he told people that God was going to take him to the next level. He's upset. He's a nerd. People are talking about him. Can I tell somebody in here, they're talking about you and put you in the same company as Jesus Christ? And understand this, Pastor, I hope they don't get mad at me. The first person that's going to talk about you is church folk. Because they nosy. Church folk are nosy. Will anybody say amen? Church folk are gossips. Church folk are nasty. What are sheep? Sheep are nasty. And so you can't live your life always trying to please church folk. That's why here it is. Can I say this? The welcome God never called us to the church folk anyway. He called us to the people that were unsaved. Why are we trying to heal people that's supposed to be already healed? The problem is we get hurt people coming to church claiming to be healed, but when because you're bloody and you're bleeding on everybody else. Hurt people hurt people. And so God is raising up a generation of people that's called to the people on the outside. That's why God is taking you through a hard place, because when it's time to deal and when it's time to help somebody else, you won't toot your nose about it. I often say this: we come to church and act like we're in the witness protection program, because when we get saved, and after we've been saved for 4 or 5 years, here it is, you act like you ain't never been through nothing. I hope I'm okay, because you act like you ain't never smoked before. You act like you ain't never drunk before. You act like you ain't never had no one-night stand. But it was God's grace that got you out of it. So why would you have the same grace for somebody else when God was to pull you out? So God will put you in a hard place to help you help somebody else. Because half the things that you're going through are not just for you, but they're for somebody else. And half the stress that you're going through is because of the person that you're connected to that you need to get rid of. Understand this, 75% of the stress that you deal with is not the stress of your own, but it's the stress of the person that you're connected to. It's that person that you're in that relationship that you've been calling them and texting them all day and they won't text you back. Come here, young woman. It's that young man that you're giving your all to. That's why you're stressed out. Because you gave yourself to other people when you should have gave yourself to Jesus. We want things to happen immediately. We want to have it our way right now, but God doesn't work like that. My old school saints, my old school people understand that God is like a crock pot. Anybody else in a crock pot? When God puts you in there, it simmers, it boils, it takes time. We want things to happen. We're this generation. God, I thank you that you're going to let me win the lottery. God, I praise you. Listen, how many church folk went to the convenience store when that thing had hit like 200 million? Because we want a quick fix. Listen, tell the truth, shame the devil. I'm calling my money. Don't give me a ticket. See, y'all don't want to be real. Y'all so saved. Super Saint. That's what I'm talking about, Super Saint church. You know you want to play some numbers. You're praying about numbers. When God wants you to allow to work for your millions. Curse of the lottery. Most people that win the lottery lose all of their money. End up on drugs and end up on addiction. Don't fight God when He wants to take you the long route. Here it is. Because if you ever lose it, you'll know how to get it again. I know some people don't like President Trump, and I know some people love President Trump, but this is what I love about him. His business mind is unmatched. And he said something that totally blessed me a couple of years ago. He said, the reason is because I went bankrupt so many times, if I lose it, I know how to get it back again. That's what God wants to show you. How much have you lost that you can go back and get? Because you've been through the process of losing time and time again. And so it's taking too long. And so the enemy comes to him and says, you need to stop pushing this rock. You need to start doing the bare minimum. Because you go to church every Sunday. You pray all the time. You fast. You give. And it still seems like it never happened in your life. The problem with that is why is it that whenever the enemy talks to us, we never talk back? We just listen to him. And so the enemy will say, you'll never be anything. And you'll say, man, I'm really not anything. The enemy will tell you, you're never going to go to college, or you're never going to get that promotion on the job, or you're never going to be successful. You're never going to be able to make that type of money. You're never going to be able to pastor. You're never going to grow in the spirit. You're never going to be able to sing on the praise team. And we listen to him. That's what I tell them. Like, I got a problem with that. Because you talk back to everybody else. Your family, your friends say something to them. Listen, you'll cuss them out. Don't nobody want to talk. But you'll let the enemy talk back to you. Stop allowing the enemy to tell you what he wants to tell you, and you listen to him. Can I throw you a blues clue out? I got keys. Here's the blues clue. Everything that the enemy says to you is a lie. Everything. The only time that the enemy can tell the truth is when he's in the presence of the Lord. It was Satan that went up to heaven and said, God, I want to get at Job. Well, actually, God told, as Satan, have you tried to serve Job? And then Satan had to tell the truth because he was in the presence of the Lord. He says, I can't do anything with him, Brother Marco, because you got a hedge fence around him. Understand, that's the same thing for you. That the enemy, by any means necessary, is trying to break that hedge fence that God has around you. Here it is. This is for somebody. That's why you're not going yet. That's why you're still here, because God got purpose. And he has destiny for you. God has anointed you to do certain things, and the enemy wants you to stop doing it. If you're a giver, keep giving. If you're a server, keep serving. If you pray, keep praying. If you're a tither, keep tithing. If you're a praiser, keep praising. Because once we have a request, God will give us a response, and then we'll see his resolve. That's his determination, his steadfastness, his resolution, his firmness. God will always take care of you. In Deuteronomy 31:6, it says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Not only does it say this in Deuteronomy, it says this in the book of Joshua, Joshua 1. It says it's 4 times, be strong and be courageous. The second time it says, be strong and be very courageous. What is God talking about right here? He's not talking about being physically strong and physically courageous. They were fighters in Deuteronomy. They already knew how to do that. They were headed into the promised land. God is saying, be strong and courageous in your mind, your mentality, because that's where the greatest war in your life is going to take place, in your mind. The enemy will attack your body because he wants your mind. If you can get your mind, you can do anything and get anything accomplished. Psalm 37:25 says, I was young and now I'm old, yet I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor seen them begging for bread. A lot of times we feel like we're in a state where we're begging God, we're begging God, we're begging God. Because like this young man, he felt like a failure. We just talked about it. I thought it was amazing in the worship, and I thought it was amazing in her prayer, the way she went in and started talking about failure. Because the biggest obstacle in this generation's life is their fear of failure. You can't fear it, you got to embrace it. It was John F. Kennedy that said, failure is the price tag to success. Anybody that's had or seen a great success must first see a great failure. Anybody that's on top, listen, they failed their way to the top. Anybody drank 7-Up? Throw your hand up in the air. You drank 7-Up. How did he get that name 7-Up? Because he failed 6 times, and on the 7th time, he got it right. Colonel Sanders. Yeah. Y'all eat chicken. Don't trip. Yeah, KFC. Some of y'all hungry right now, I know. Colonel Sanders, 70 plus years old, when he invented or finally got the chicken right for Kentucky Fried Chicken. What people don't talk about is the depression that he went through. What people don't talk about is the divorce that he went through. The People don't talk about how he lost job after job after job. And it was his wife that went back to him, his next wife that went back to him and said, here it is, I believe in you. God is saying this morning that he believes in you. Despite your failures, he believes in you. One of my favorite quotes, there is no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move you in a different direction. So failure, when I'm trying to go here, and I can't, I go here. And because I can't go here, now I go here. Because you got to keep moving, and you got to keep pushing, and you got to keep going, and you can't stay stagnant. So this young man is at a place where he's like, why keep killing myself? I'll just do the bare minimum. God, I'm trying to figure out, am I in a trial or am I in a test? Because you told me to do this, God. Just understand one or two reasons why you're in a situation. Either God is testing you or you're in a trial because of something that you've done. Understand this, we say this all the time. God, you'll never put more on me than we can bear. You have to ask yourself, did God put it on you or did you put it on yourself? Right. And if God put it on you, he's going to allow you to endure it. Because if it's a test, understand this, that the test is going to last a while, and it's up to the teacher to tell you when that test is over. And if you're in a trial, only God understands the consequences. But it was the same man that David, he says, I would rather be in the hands of God than to be in the hands of my enemies or be in the hands of man. So if you're in God's hands, you're in the right hands. God says, I see him suffering. I see him going through. And I've been quiet long enough. So my resolve, what I've already designed to happen, is your reward. The story is told that the young man is spent, he's hurting, he's aching for what he's been going through the last couple of years of his life. He's saying, God, I'm ready to give up. And just like God, whenever it's too much, he shows up. The story says God showed up into his cabin, the same cabin that he gave him the assignment. He said, my friend, when I gave you this assignment, you accepted it. Understand, when you asked Jesus Christ to come into your life, you accepted the call that was on your life. You were regenerated. You were renewed from sin. But understand this, even as God changed you and saw the difference, the enemy saw the same thing. And so when you gave your life to Christ, that made you a hot commodity. So now you're on the devil's most wanted list. Understand this, the enemy doesn't go after people that he already knows. That's why there's no need to get jealous of people in the world. The enemy's not going to fight with you. He wants you. He wants the cream of the crop. So God tells him, your task was to push against the rock. And not one time did God tell him it was going to be easy. Not one time did God tell him it was going to be fast. And you was going to get through it with a smile. Not one time did God tell you that you were going to smile going through the divorce. Not one time did God tell you that you were going to smile when you got fired. Not one time did God tell you you were going to smile. You lost your best friend. Not one time did God tell you that it was going to be easy. But the old singer said, he's never brought you this far to leave you. In this tough place, he's not going to leave you. In your heartache, in your pain, he's not going to leave you. God tells him this. He said, never once did I tell you it's going to be easy. Then he says, not once did I mention to you that I expected you to move the rock. He said, your task was to push the rock. Have you clearly heard what God told you to do? Because many times we hear what we want to hear. We're in a time where we get these prophetic words all the time, Pastor. Somebody prophesied to you that you're going to get $1 million, that you're going to be rich. Here's the language of a prophet. God prophesied to you that you're going to get money. You're probably going to go through some money struggles. You can prophesy to about healing, you might get sick. Because God wants to show you how to get what it is that the prophecy says that you can have. You just don't jump right into it. So God says, son, look at yourself. When you first started this journey of pushing this rock, you were 125 pounds. Now you're 250. He says, look at your biceps, look at your triceps, look at your calves, look at your abs. The hard places make you a better person. Yeah. Not only do they make you a better person, they make you a different person. Not just the way you look on the outside, but the way you act and look on the inside. He says, look at yourself. You're a different person. And remember my instructions. My instructions never said that you were going to move this rock. My instructions were for you to push this rock. What am I telling you this morning? God wants you to push. You got to push. You can't give up. If God has called you to do it, he's going to make a way for you to do it. He's going to give you the tools that you need. He's going to give you the necessities that you need to push this rock. It's two things that's come along with God's assignment. All he asks you to do is be faithful and be obedient in doing what it is that you do. When you're faithful over few, he'll make you rule over many. And we understand that obedience is better than sacrifice. This is my favorite part of this story. God says you've been pushing this rock. Sun up the sun down. You said, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Push it. And they push it every day. And because you're on your last leg, I believe that I'm talking to about 5 of you. Saying, God, you're going to have to do something for me today. The way I felt this morning, the way I felt last night, the way I felt on this entire week, I'm ready to give up. Talking to everybody. But there's some of y'all there saying, God, you're going to have to move this thing out of my life. God says, since you're on your last leg, and you've been faithful, and you've been obedient, get out the way. I'm going to move this rock for you. He never told you that you was going to move the rock. That's his job. God is about to move some things for each and every person under the sound of my voice. If you believe that, will you stand to your feet with me while I pray for you?